Welcome to the Keeping You On Stage podcast. Join us as we dive into the vibrant world of dance, sharing our insights and experiences while spotlighting the incredible talents within our community. Each episode features engaging conversations with guests who bring their unique expertise and stories to the table, enriching our understanding of this beautiful art form. Our motto, Keeping You On Stage, drives our mission to celebrate and uplift dancers of all backgrounds. Whether you're a beginner, a seasoned performer, or a passionate enthusiast, this podcast is your backstage pass into the dance world. Tune in and let's keep the spotlight shining bright.
Welcome back to the Keeping You On Stage podcast. In this series, we spotlight the teachers and coaches and mentors who have had a lasting impact on not only our journey, but on the dance community as a whole. Joining us in today's episode is someone who I respect and look up to in so many ways. If I get emotional, I'm really sorry. She was my high school drill team coach for only 1 year, but it taught me more in that 1 year than most could probably learn throughout their whole life. Suzanne or Sue. I know her as Suzanne. Now she goes by Sue. So if I call you both, that's who I'm talking about. She has been working as a dance teacher, choreographer, and coach for over 30 years. She has broad experience of dance training in jazz, ballet, hip hop, contemporary, contempt funk. Is it like contemporary funk or is it just?
Yeah, contemporary funk.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Musical theater and precision in dance. In high school, she was one of the first state dance Sterling Scholar finalists in the state of Utah. After high school, she went on to teach for the United Spirit Association, which we all know as USA, and was a BYU Cougarette. After college, she continued to teach, coach, take class, and learn. Over the years, she has coached several high school drill teams. Currently, she coaches the Farmington Excels with some of her best friends. They have worked together to win 2 5A state championships and 2 6A state championships. Her dancers have gone on to dance at Utah State Aggiette's UVU dance team, BYU Cougarettes, the Utah Jazz Dancers, various hip-hop crews, and on Broadway. Recently, Suzanne and her good friend Marcy Hartvickson and Janelyn Mehmet created the pre-professional company Continuum Dance Company. This was created to provide another avenue for dancers graduated from college to continue their development as artists and dancers. Along with coaching drill team, she teaches at LTD2 Studio in Kaysville, which is Love to Dance. She's married to her amazing husband, Dave, and is a mom to 4 children, Ashlyn, Elise, Mikkel, and Davis. Additionally, she works part-time as a controller CPA and teaches fitness classes and loves to road bike. Welcome, Sue. We're so
Thanks.
excited to have you.
This is really special.
Honestly.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to just go right ahead and start kind of at the beginning. What brought you into coaching, especially drill team?
So I did drill when I was in high school, and I actually have 3 older cousins that did drill. So I watched them, and I always wanted to do it because they did it, and I love dancing since the time I could walk. And so I did drill in high school, and then that kind of took me, I worked for USA, which we were then teaching different dance or drill teams across the Western United States.
Okay.
And then that gave me jobs choreographing for drill. And then I did Cougarettes, which is also precision dance. And after that, one of my good friends from Cougarettes, Nicole, she got a job teaching at Lone Peak, and I was finishing my master's, and she said, "Hey, do you want to coach drill?" And the school, I think, had maybe been open a year. So I said, okay. And so I went in and helped her coach, and I enjoyed that scene. It was kind of what I had been focusing on. And then years later, probably about 3 years later, maybe not that long, but somebody from Viewmont, because I went to Viewmont where I coached you, and they were having issues with their coach. And I think I was like 8 months pregnant, and they came in and said, "Our dance routine's a mess. Can you come and re-choreograph it and help us?" So I did. And then that coach didn't come back, and I started coaching the team.
So what year did you actually start at
Okay.
Viewmont.
Let's see. My daughter was born in 2000. So
Okay.
yeah, 2000. What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 05,
Okay. So
but
that's right.
you stopped coaching there
Yes.
my junior year.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
so
that was right.
like 2004.
Okay. Yeah.
We're very grateful. I know I was anyways, and the rest of the community to have you coaching there.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
what do you love most about coaching?
Several things. I mean, there's definitely days where it's extremely hard, but I love the relationships that you build with the girls. But I think the most important thing that I love is seeing them progress, or the growth that you see over the course of working with them, and seeing them achieve things that maybe they didn't think that they could achieve.
Mm.
And then seeing them before they graduate, and just these beautiful women when they first came in as sophomores or freshmen. And that's really rewarding.
Yes,
Mhm.
that is really cool. Yeah, I think that would be really neat to see. So, unfortunately, at Viewmont, you had to be a junior,
Yeah, they've changed things.
but now
They can come
they
in as
can come as
freshmen.
a freshman, and so which is really cool. I
Mhm.
wish so bad that I could go back and do it, although I probably wouldn't make the team now.
I think we all
Because
say
the
that.
talent is
Insane.
insane,
You would.
but
You just,
I would have to work really hard,
we'd all
but
just figure it out, I
yeah,
guess.
There's a lot of freshmen, I feel like,
there
kind
are.
of like all around this year,
Mhm.
just from the teams that we've been working with.
Yes.
I feel like there's been a lot of freshmen.
I'm so glad high schools allow that now.
Yeah.
So, and it's not for everyone, every dancer is different, but I wish it was an option when I was there.
Same when I
But
was in high school. I would have
yeah,
totally done that.
yes,
Mhm.
so great. Okay, so coaching the Nixels, they're incredible. Let's
Thank you.
just
They
throw
are.
this out there. They, the program, everything is phenomenal. And when we're both drill junkies, and so we'll go to all the competitions and we go and watch, and there is just something different when they step on the floor.
Oh, thank you.
And so, what do you feel like really takes, what does it take to build a championship team like you and your friends have?
There's a lot of moving parts, a lot that kind of culminate to this championship. And honestly, I have to say, we don't ever talk about taking state till maybe the week before.
Wow.
Our focus has always been just improving and becoming the best we can. And that's pushing the girls to whatever level that is that we see they can achieve.
Hmm.
But I will say, I think a couple things that make us particularly incredible is, one, the coaching staff. It's obviously not just me, but Marcy and Shalise, Ashley's coached with us. She's back this year. Allie and Evie are back this year too. But Marcy and Shalise and I have worked together. God, I was thinking about this on the way out. Maybe 18 years. We've worked together a long time. And actually, I did Cougarettes with Shalise.
Okay.
So we knew each other and knew each other's strengths, and knew that we each brought different things to the
Mhm.
table. And I think that's really important with any team that you're coaching, is that you have people that have different strengths than you. And with us working together so many years, we know when to step in and when to step back. And we kind of know what our roles are. Like, I'm doing this. We know what routines we kind of take. And then after it gets to a point, okay, I'm going to look at this one and she's going to look at this one and give a fresh eye. And we just have this system. And all of us come from a pretty extensive background of doing, we've all done drill
Mhm.
or coaching or teaching for a long time. So I think that experience really adds. The other thing I feel like that we have tried to do is become innovators. Drill puts you in a box. Literally, you have to check
Yes.
boxes and have,
Yes.
your rubric and do
Mhm.
things. But we've tried to push that a little bit. You can only push it so far, but instead of worrying about what everybody else is doing, we're trying to, okay, what can we do better than what we did last year?
Oh.
And all of us are continually trying to innovate. And that can be hard, especially when you're doing military. And
Yes.
it's like, oh my gosh, we've done so many of these things before. But that challenges us as coaches
Mhm.
and even the kids too. They know that that's part of the process.
Well, and there is, I mean, that is definitely demonstrated on the floor because, not only are they phenomenally talented dancers and coaches, but it is different. Their routines
Mhm.
are different. It's almost just like a breath of fresh air.
Oh, thank you.
Um, it is definitely something that you don't see in that little box of,
Mhm.
or big box, I should say, of drill. And
Mhm.
so that very good job on that innovating
thank you.
because it's shown.
Yeah. I feel
So
like with drill, sometimes it gets, especially as like a spectator, when you go, sometimes it's like, oh,
You start feeling like I'm seeing the same
yeah.
things over and over.
And so
Mhm.
it's really nice to see things that are different and innovative, like you say.
Yeah.
It just is so refreshing.
It is.
And I think judges actually appreciate it.
Well,
Well,
sometimes we have taken, I will have
I
to
was
say,
gonna
we've
say that's
taken
a big
risks
risk.
and it hasn't paid off. And other times, like there was one year we did a show routine and used props and we built these like massive walls and it was I mean, the walls flipped up and girls would like
Oh, wow.
end up standing on it and they
Mhm.
had both said it was just the most insane production. We didn't take state that year. And whatever the case, I mean, sometimes those innovations, maybe the judges are just looking for cleanliness.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's a risk, or they really like the lyrical contemporary and they don't like
Yes.
so we always have to remind ourselves, okay, the judging is it's not a
Right.
it's not an actual computation. It is, but it's subjective and
Mhm.
we might appeal to people and we might not.
Right.
But we are confident in what we're
What
putting
you're
out.
doing. Yeah. I love that
So
so much. And that goes with what you were saying previous as which I actually really love this, that you don't talk about state until about a week before. Your focus is being the best you, being
mhm.
the best dancer, the best performer out there. And I think that builds confidence, like you were just saying, in their routine. It's like, well, that judge may not like us, but we put everything out on the floor. So I think that's awesome. So, anyways,
Thank you.
yeah. Okay, let's go really far back. Like I just had my 20-year reunion
Oh my
and
gosh.
I feel like
I'm
I
so
feel like
old.
I'm still 18 until I like dance or move. Then I'm like, oh no, no, I'm not. I actually can't.
Or look at her.
Or yeah, or
I
see
know,
my
I look
gray
in the
hairs.
mirror.
It's
the
really
You guys are way younger. You
no,
look great.
you look
You just, I
amazing.
think you
So
always just feel that way. It
you
must be that
do.
way as you get older.
I think so. Um, yeah, super grateful for you at that time. And it was different then than it is now, where our drill team was also our dance company. And so, really, you really only coached me for, I don't know, I was going to say 6 months, but it's probably a little bit
A little
longer
longer
than
than
that
that. Yeah.
because after state, then we would switch and be coached by someone different or be taught by someone different. And so, how was that for you? As a coach, did you appreciate the break or were you frustrated because you're like, actually, we're just getting started and now we're ending?
I didn't feel that way, especially back then. It was actually very refreshing. And I think
Mhm.
the kids need that. It's great to experience both dance company and
Right.
drill because I think, or studio,
Yes, or
because
studio.
both bring such value, which um, there's value to both. You know, drill teaches you how to be a team. It's not about you, it's about the team. It's about pushing yourself physically. It's about really showing up every morning, when you don't want to and fulfilling that commitment. And studio or dance company is the artistry and the
Mhm.
technique and learning those things. Because honestly, in drill, you don't have time to
No.
be doing technical stuff. I mean, you're doing technical elements, but you're not training.
Mhm.
And so there is so much value to both. So I love that they get that experience. And when I went to BMI, I did the same thing. However, Bonnie Pierce, who ran the dance company, the drill didn't just turn into dance company. It was like she had advanced dance, intermediate dance, and beginning dance. She had this massive dance program. So I would do advanced dance with kids that did cheer or other things, or maybe they just danced, and you got this separate experience, which that taught me a ton as well. The only downfall to having both, like the drill team turns into the dance company, is then there's not as many kids in the school that get an opportunity to be involved in a dance program, which I do feel like is very important for the kids to find a place that they belong or something they're involved in when they're in high school. So there's pros and cons to both.
That's what I loved my experience doing that.
A lot of kids now, I feel like the studio side is very involved as well. And so kids, depending on what their studios allow them to do, they can do drill, or maybe they can't do drill and they can do dance company. And so there's a lot of options, which is great too.
I think it's so great. I love that everyone can be involved if they want to. If you could go back and tell your younger coaching self something, what would it be?
To not worry about what parents say or comments.
Okay.
And that's
That
really
is huge.
That's really hard. I think that just comes through age though.
Yeah.
And maturity. Now I can handle things a lot better. I can take the emotion out of it and usually have a great conversation, but be able to be honest. I think because I was younger when I coached you guys, parents felt like they were able to
Oh, interesting.
maybe attack a little bit harder than they would now. However, I will say that I didn't really have a ton of parents. There were just a few things, but it just like when they did happen, it would make
Destroy you.
destroy me and think, why am I even doing this? And those things still happen sometimes, even now, is, God, why are we doing this? And when you have maybe some miscommunication or some things with parents. But I will say, all in all, we have really awesome parents. And it is nice to have a bigger coaching staff to have
To help.
to help with that and work with parents and kids and so forth. But and I just, when I coached you, I think it was me and Misty or Bonnie. I can't remember who it was. So you just didn't have the bandwidth, and I had little kids, and I just was like doing drill all day. So it just was a lot. And
I'm sorry, because as a team member, you don't see that.
You don't know that
side of it, and so you played it off really well. You know, you did really great, but you don't see that. And maybe that's because I was a teenage girl, and like you're more worried about what your hair is going to look like or something. But
you don't worry about, you don't know.
Yeah, and so
they never will know.
But I think parents can be so tricky and so hard. It's like you got to work together. The coach, the dancer, and the parent all have to work together to like help the dancer succeed. I feel like, and so if you're not all on the same page, I can't imagine. So,
and most of the times, like I said, it's not an issue. I mean, when you kind of stay like, this is how it is, and they're pretty good, but there's always going to be someone who doesn't like what you're doing, and most of it comes from the parents just trying to be a champion for their kid, and so it's a lot of times out of that, or their own insecurities, or their not understanding what's going on too.
So can I ask you this question then, as a parent, or what advice would you give to a parent of a dancer? I mean, whether it's drill team or dance company or cheer or whatever it is, like what would you suggest, or how would you, as being a coach, how would you like say, okay, parents, this is a good way to either talk to the coach or stay out of it and let the dancer kind of fend for herself.
That's what we've said, is that your child needs to come and talk to us first if it's that important. And they're that age, they need to learn those skills to be able to come and deal with difficult conversations. If it's something else that you don't feel like they need to be involved in, maybe there's like a medical condition or something else happening at home, I mean, they can always call and talk to us. But a lot of times it's just a misunderstanding between the dancer and us. Maybe we moved them in a routine. I mean, this has happened to me multiple times, and they take it personally, and they
Mhm.
think, and it was really just, hey, I had to get this person here because they need to do this, and the formation pattern has to move
Has
like
to
this, and it
go.
has nothing to do with them. Other
Right.
times it might,
Mhm.
and you have to be honest with them and say, hey, this is what it is. But then if the parent still feels like the issue is not resolved, then I think it is okay to go in with the coaches. However, they need to come in when they feel like they're not emotionally charged.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Because they're already going to be emotional because
Mhm.
it's their kid, and try to understand both sides. And a lot of parents maybe don't understand the level of their child sometimes.
Right.
We all think like my kid's the best, and
Mhm.
we love our children, we're their champions, but we also have to be able to take some feedback and go, okay, that makes sense, and maybe she still needs some help with this, or all right, maybe she's not able to execute that, and okay, what can we do to help her? Like, what can you do to help and support your child, instead of going around and creating some drama or
Sure.
talking about things that you really don't know, but you're just frustrated about.
Mhm. That's really great advice,
Yeah.
actually. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. So that's great. Thank you so
Mhm.
much. Okay, moving on. One of my very favorite things about you coaching us is that you danced with us. And so I remember, I mean, whatever routine it was, you were in it with us. And instead of like, okay, here you go, like this is the movement, you guys do it. No, you did it with us. And then you would show us, no, I would like it to look like this, or like, and I really, truly appreciated that. And it was fun back then. And now that I'm an adult and looking back, I'm like, that's impressive. That's
Mm.
huge, because you don't see that very often.
Mm-mm.
It's really easy as a coach. I mean, I coach for just a small minute, and you did too, but it's really easy to just sit there and tell everybody what to do and what you want it to look like. And, you know,
Yeah.
I really appreciated that. Is that how you've always taught dance and coached, or?
Yeah, well, obviously, as I get older, I'm not doing jetés and turns and doing things across
I
the floor,
guarantee you still could if you wanted, if you
but
wanted to.
I have tried to stay current. I think we have as
Mhm.
coaches and teachers. I think what that does is helps them respect that, okay, she knows what she's talking about. Although I'm not at the level of a lot of these kids, I do feel like I know a lot more than they do. And so
Yes.
even today, when we are doing conditioning in the summer, Marcy will do body attack, which is like a high intensity athletic
Mhm.
training with them. She's teaching, because we both teach at the gym. We teach these classes. We come in and do it with them. Or I will teach body jam, which is like a dance fitness program, just to even help them not only condition, but get their bodies to move in the right way.
Yes.
And that's helped us stay current and active. But then I think they're kind of like, oh, okay, she knows, or still demonstrate some little things, or be able to get out on the floor with them while you're trying to create or set something that helps them know what to do, or that you know exactly what kids to go to that can show what you
Yeah.
want
Mhm.
and demonstrate that. But there is something to be said when you're on the floor with them and you're conditioning with them, then they think, okay, well, she's a whole lot older than me, and
She can
she's
do
pushing
this.
and she's doing that. I can do that.
Mhm.
And I still try to push myself physically, because I like that. And I think it's a great example to the kids.
It
Oh.
really is. And just like you said, well, if my teacher can do that, and I mean, at that time you had just had your second, I
Yeah.
think, or no,
Mhm.
you were,
I think I was
I can't
pregnant
remember.
when I quit. I was pregnant
Yeah,
with my
with
third,
your third. I think that's right.
but my second they're less than 2 years apart. So she
So
was
she's just
little.
little, and I'm
I'm
like,
like, how did I
"But
even do
she
that?
just had these babies," and I know, I
Maybe it was mental. I just needed to move. And so I was
just
taking
you were
advantage of it.
doing it. But
But
I remember it pushed me, and I would say probably most members of our team, it pushed me, like, if Suzanne can do this, then there's no reason that I can't keep going. There's no reason I can't make my jeté, which it never would be as beautiful as yours, but there's no reason
back
I
in the
couldn't
day, I could
push
at least do a
myself.
jeté.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So,
Have to
or
warm up
turn or
a
whatever it
long time
is.
now.
For an
So,
hour.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I really do. And I do think it I gained a lot of respect for you.
Oh,
Like, oh,
thank
yeah,
you.
she knows what she's doing and talking about and all the things. So, very much so. Um, okay, so this one, I'm really sorry if I get emotional. You made me feel like I was enough. And like you just as I was enough to be on your team, and I was a good enough dancer to be a part of something that was, created by you. But not only that, you expected a lot out of us. And at the time I loved that was my favorite year of high school was my junior year, and you played a huge role in that. Um, but you expected a lot. You were strict, but you did it in a loving way. I knew that you cared about us and you wanted the very best for me and as a dancer. And I really, truly appreciate that now.
Thank
Like
you.
that looking back, I'm like, yeah, that was huge. And having different coaches and different teachers and, all the things, they were all great. But that is something I really held on to from you. And another like reason why I respect you because you just have an ability to accept like who I am, you're good enough, you can do this, but you also saw potential in me of what I could be, and I'm really grateful to have had that experience with you.
That's so
Um,
sweet. Thank you.
well, I don't know if it's sweet, but it's true. Is that something that you had to learn as a coach, or did it come natural for you to yeah,
To
tell me
have
a
that
little about
balance,
yeah.
I think it's more my personality, but I also had great coaches that
Mhm.
demonstrated that.
Okay.
So Bonnie Pierce
Mm,
was one.
he's
She was
amazing.
so strict, but she was encouraging
Mhm.
and she set a high level of expectations of what she thought things could be. And I feel like I responded well to that.
Mhm.
I liked the structure. I liked knowing what was expected of me, but also believing that I could do more. Jody Maxfield that coached Cougarettes, she was the same way. And I remember the year I came on, I got put in a routine they had done the previous year. I got one of the spots and they had a toe raise. Remember back in the day, you did toe
Mhm.
raises? I didn't know how to do toe raise. And she just said, okay, well, if you don't have that by tomorrow, then I'm going to have somebody else come
Oh,
or somebody else will take
yeah.
the spot. Cause I think we were performing it like in a week at a
Mhm.
halftime or something. I can't remember, but I never had anybody to say, okay, well, you got to get it or else I'm going to switch you out. And man, that just pushed me so hard. And she did several things like that. Like tomorrow, I expect you to do the ABCD.
Mhm.
And so to me, it taught me, wow, I can do more than I think or
Right.
that's been maybe demanded of me. And so can these kids. There is a balance of knowing when to push too hard. And I've definitely crossed the line. Like one year, some feedback came back on drill, like she can go from 0 to 100 in 1
Oh,
second because it was a year where I felt like I had to really push some things forward. And I didn't love that feedback
mhm.
because that's not what naturally sits. But I can go there. I can
Sure.
I like to be efficient in my practices. I like to get things done. And as long as they can be respectful, I can do that with kindness and love.
Mhm.
When I feel like there's an attitude or something, then
Then
I
it
want to nip that in the bud and kind of make sure we're okay. But also you can't be so just like, okay, that was great when it really
was
wasn't,
yeah.
because that's not doing the kids any favors to be better. And I'll say that to the kids, like, I know you're tired. We're all tired,
Yeah.
so we've got to just keep pushing forward, or you're better than that. Do you guys think you're better than that? Can you do, or taking a dancer aside and saying, hey, what's going on? This is what I need from you. Try to give them some positive, but also maybe understand if they're not giving you something back and just trying to have that communication. So it's something I've learned. It is something that's in my personality. I do feel like there's been times where I haven't always coached with love. I can tell you that I'm not perfect. And
None of us are.
No, no
I
one is. Oh
have
my
always
god.
regretted that
Okay.
if I cross that line. And so I've just realized as I've gotten older, it's not worth it to me to do
Mhm.
that. Like, I'm going to push them. You also have to have a reality on what you can push them to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can do it. You can do it. And maybe they really can't do that, but you have to understand what you think that they
It
can do.
is.
Yeah.
Well, you do a really great job. I'm like, I don't think I could ever see you crossing that line, but
I have.
you know what? I mean, we're all human.
I
I'm
think
like,
we,
oh, I don't
as
know.
parents,
Oh,
we
yes.
all have. You know what I
Yeah.
Oh,
mean?
yeah. With
With
your
your
kids,
kids.
too.
hmm
So we all
It
have those like
is.
regrets with our kids, and it's so like you look back and
What did I do?
Yeah, it's a
But-
constant balance and figuring it out day to day and with different groups of kids.
Sure. Is there a year in drill that stands out to you that's like your most favorite, best year of drill? Bikels, Nixels. I mean, you've been with Nixels for a long time. And so is there one year that just really stands out to you and why?
I think the first year we took 6A
Okay.
state champions. So not this year, but the year
Mhm.
before. That was, well, first I have to back up. It was challenging to start from scratch.
Yes.
No funding, no costumes, no nothing. Build a program of what you want it to be. No leaders. And then kind of each year building. You know, our
Mhm.
second year we took 5A
Mhm.
championships, which was crazy. And then they said, okay, you know, you're going to go to 6A within this time. We go to 6A. And that first year, man, we did everything we could. And that actually was a really great year. It was an awesome year. My third daughter was a senior, and it was heartbreaking, but I couldn't have been more proud. Like, I didn't really feel like we could have done anything more.
Mhm.
But the next year, we knew what that 6A looked like. And I think there was definitely more of a fire under the team. And our president, Abby, that year, who's like a second daughter to me, she lives next door. So
Oh,
I can say that.
great.
She honestly
Yeah,
is.
she is.
But she just had a way of leading the team. All of our presidents have had really unique styles of leading, which I think that team has needed that year.
Mhm.
But she had a way of just pulling everybody together. And they were so unified that there was nothing more we could have done. And we were just so proud of whatever the result was going to be. And luckily it came out in our favor.
It was amazing.
You just never know. So that was a really sweet.
The leaders make the
Yes.
biggest difference.
For
Not
sure.
just the coaches, but the girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you have those leaders that build everyone up and just light the fire under everybody else, then those are the years where there's like something special.
Yeah, it does. It penetrates from that top down, and you hope you have the right leaders there. But a lot of times once you have some great leaders, they see how to lead.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they can step into that easily the next year.
Isn't
Which
that
is
kind
really
of
cool.
cool?
Yeah, it's really neat to
that
watch.
leader really thinks, oh, I'm leading this team this year. But really, they're setting the
The
example for all the years to follow.
Mhm.
And I think that is so cool. That is
Yeah.
really neat.
That's a
That's-
big part of drill.
It is.
The leading part and becoming a leader,
Mhm.
not just as a dancer, but as a person.
Yeah.
But then the other teammates that are not leaders, it teaches a ton as well. You know, how to listen to their peers and respect their peers.
Yes.
That's really hard.
Agreed.
It is.
It is.
can
It is
be
hard.
very tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It teaches so many great life lessons.
Yeah.
Love that.
Absolutely. Okay, one more question off script.
Sure.
I'm just thinking of things. So you coached your third daughter. Did you coach your other girls too?
I coached my second daughter. So the year the school opened
Mhm.
was my second daughter's junior year.
Okay.
And that was the first year we had the team. And we had, I think, 2 seniors that had come like from Davis or
Oh,
Viewmont.
sure.
And these girls were all new to drill.
Right.
They had never seen how the leadership should be, what it should be like. So that was a real growing year.
Mhm.
I think Jan Whitaker told us, hey, if you can get through this first year, then you're going to be just fine. And it was a hard year just to navigate all that. So that was her junior year. And then her senior year was so I had her, she was a senior, and my other daughter was a sophomore. So I had 2 girls on the team,
Fun.
Oh, wow.
which was really special. I'm grateful that I've been able to have that time with
Have
them.
that, yeah.
And that was the year we took 5A state.
That is
And
really
so
special.
that was really special. It was cool. So yeah, I
Was
had
it
'em
challenging to be like a mom, but also a drill coach?
for sure.
Mhm.
It's challenging in the fact that a lot of people would say that as coaches that we favor our kids, but
Mhm.
I think it's the opposite.
Yeah.
You're almost more on your kids.
Right.
But gratefully, we have each other, and I would have to tell, like, Shalice, like, you're going to have to tell her that because I can't. Or so we would tag
Yeah,
team each other's
that's
kids
good.
because we knew as moms,
Mhm.
it was,
Might cause some issues.
it was better for feedback to
Right.
come from another coach. Other times it might be hard if there were some friend issues or something that you have to
Yes.
check yourself before you go into practice that you're like, I'm the coach now.
Yeah.
I'm not the mom.
I didn't think about
I have
that
to
part
just
of
be
it.
like, give them feedback. I can't be emotional with that. But honestly, it was just it's really fun for me to watch my own kids grow.
Mhm.
And it's hard though, because I also see when they really struggle. I think if you're just sending them to drill and you don't see all that, like I'm seeing
Right.
day to day,
Yes.
if they had a hard day or they got moved or, all those things,
That's
it's hard. So you just have to take one day at a time.
well, you handle it with grace, and you're
Well,
actually so amazing.
some days, I
It's
mean, you just come home or you have an extra conversation. My daughters are probably like, we had lots of conversations.
yes. That's good though, like to be open and, have that, I don't know, there you could have been like coach mode, mom mode, but to be able to intermingle those and
Yeah.
have conversations, that says a lot about who you are as a coach and a mom. So
Oh, I know. And there were
that's
days that they went to Marcy or they went,
Mhm.
which is okay.
Right.
They need that other outlet of somebody to talk to. And I think
Right.
that's actually a very good thing. So
Like the whole it takes a village, right?
Yeah.
So
it does.
yeah, that's awesome. Okay, moving on. So beyond dance, and I do remember this about you is, that you were the CPA. And I'm like, oh, she is so smart.
Uh,
Like thinking back. And so what, like most people think of accounting black and white numbers, like,
Yeah.
but you are an amazing choreographer. And that is over here next to like black and white. That is a lot of creative talent. How do you manage both of that? Like, how does that work for you?
For me, it's refreshing in my brain because I learned while I was in college that I knew I didn't want to teach dance in a public setting, public school setting.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that I couldn't dance 8 hours a day. It's just really hard to do that full time. But I really loved business and I loved challenging myself that way mentally. And I loved numbers and math and that kind of thing. So I like the balance it brings. I remember in college, people were like, you're doing what? And you dance? And
Yes.
but it was great. I work my brain and I work my body. I like the
Mhm.
challenge that both brings. And actually they kind of merge because in accounting or auditing or controller work, you are finding problems or fixing
Mhm.
things and same thing with choreography, especially in drill, is how are we moving this formation? How are we going to connect it to this? And what does that pattern look
Okay.
like? How are we moving? It's like a puzzle. How am I going to move
Mhm.
to get this to happen or this person here? Or it is kind of like a puzzle. So
I do
they're
too.
both
I've never
similar.
thought of it like that, but
Your brain has
yes.
to kind of work
Well,
like
you've
that a little
got all
bit too.
your numbers with your number
Yeah,
of girls and who can go like how many rows and
exactly.
everything like
How's
that.
that going to
So
work out? So I don't know.
that's really impressive, actually.
It's very odd, but
No,
I'll take
I
it.
love it. I think it's great. And
Mhm.
obviously you're successful in all of the ways. And so
No. Well,
it's worked for you.
there's been times I just barely went back to accounting a few years ago.
Okay.
I did it when my kids were young, and then I just couldn't do it because my kids
Because of yeah.
but I was always teaching, and so it's been fun and challenging to go back to it because now I've got this runway of my kids graduating and what does that look like? And I like challenging myself. Although sometimes I get in it and I think, why did I do that?
Wait a minute.
But it's good.
Okay, you also teach fitness, as I see you at the gym, which I
Yes.
need to make it to one
You
of
need
your
to come
classes.
dance
I
with
know.
us.
I know. I
Would
need to
love it,
make
Brooke.
it. And it's always been, I want to say, fitness and exercise has always been a really big part of who you are.
Mhm.
Another thing that I've respected about you is you've always taken really great care of your body. You know, it's
Oh,
like you watch what you put into your body and obviously exercise and things like that. So, do you feel like that started because of dance, or dance pushed you towards like, or fitness pushed you towards dance? Kind of
yeah.
help me
No,
understand that.
dance for sure led me to that
Mhm.
because I would go to classes in the summer at the gym, either in high school or in college, to stay in shape for dance when you were off. And I think once I had been moving and dancing, I mean, even in junior high, I cheered in junior high, and then I'd walk down to the studio and dance for another 4 hours. Like, I just have been moving my whole
Mhm.
life, which I love to keep moving. There's obviously a balance to it. So after I finished with Cougarettes, I was home for the summer. My mom said, I saw this ad in the newspaper. It was,
Newspaper.
in the newspaper. It was one of those back in the day. They're hiring down at Lady Fitness for aerobics.
Oh.
And my cute parents always just like that I could do any of these things. And so I just went down and auditioned for
Oh
it.
my goodness, that is
And
awesome.
they hired me because she said, you can count music and you could choreograph. I could put a combination together. She said, we'll just help you get certifications. So I started teaching. And then when I went back down to BYU, I taught at a few gyms and to earn money and have a free membership. And I think I've always loved just the combination of moving my body with music.
Sure.
And the programs that I teach now that are Les Mills programs, they come out of Australia. And that is one of their primary focuses is movement with music. They do so much research as to the workout and benefits and safety and all of that. So I love that. And it keeps my brain going. And especially the jam program, their choreography is actually, and music is all pretty up to date. So I'm learning that, and Marcia's too. And that's helped us keep moving and stay up on things too,
Yeah.
as we are still working at the studio and seeing
Right.
choreography and trying to stay fresh with where things are at. But
Yeah,
Which is
that is a challenge. I know that
they're
is
always
changing.
evolving. Yeah.
Yeah.
evolving.
So are all of those things that you teach, like body jam and you do step, right?
Yeah.
I've been to one of yours like years
Years
and
ago.
years ago, and it kicked my booty. I was like, Jessica invited me to go, and she's a very avid worker outer and in such good shape. And she's like, come and go. And I'm like, there's no way I can make it through this class. Like, Suzanne's going to think I'm the worst.
Stop
and
it.
like, this is my coach and I can't do it. And
No.
anyway, so I need to come back and do it. So it looks really fun.
It is fun. We have people that are 70s that come, guys, girls, some that never had any dance experience. And it's just about moving.
So fun.
And nobody's worrying about themselves. They just are loving dancing.
That's
And
so fun.
it's just so healing from at least my soul. I think it is for
Sure.
theirs too.
I
Yeah.
love that there's stuff like that now
I know.
because you have so many people that just go through. I mean, they go to studio and then they dance drill in high school or cheer or whatever, and then college even, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, what do I do now?
Mhm.
And so I love that there's all these fitness programs offered that are dance based.
Yeah.
Like it just is
It is
actually
really
really
fun.
neat. So
It is
that
really neat.
people like us
can still dance even though we can't,
Yeah.
but still we can.
Yes, you still can.
Yeah. It actually really is fun. So you teach at the studio. How involved are you in that? Like how many days a week do you teach? Do you choreograph?
Yeah. I used to be, before I coached drill, more involved. And now that my kids are done and all three of my girls danced, but I'm there a couple hours on Monday and maybe 4 or 5 on Thursday. And then Continuum that we started, they do a day of training down in Pleasant Grove at Jenilyn's studio, ADP, and then they do a day of training up at Love to Dance. So then we just work
So
with them
you
at the end of the night, which is awesome. So 2 nights, and then
Wow.
maybe each week's kind of different with drill. They know that I don't have kids on the team, so I'm not going to all the extra stuff, and they're fine with that. But I go and do what they need me to do and what I enjoy to do, which I'm grateful that I can still coach and do that. I don't do at the studio, I don't do choreography, but what I do is changing choreography, adding choreography, adjusting it. For example, last year we had a hip hop that was set that didn't have transitions, that didn't have layering. Like that's what I feel like I'm really good at is filling things in, fixing it, layering it, changing it, moving it around. So I do a lot of that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really great.
And then teaching technique and stuff. So
Stuff like that. You're a busy lady.
and I do like a little of this, and I go and I do a little of this, and this keeps it
And
interesting.
go to do some accounting, and then go do this, and then ride your road bike.
Ride my road bike.
Oh my.
You're brave.
What got you into doing that?
My husband got me into that.
Okay.
He had a vision that we were going to do something together, and we tried golf. I'm not a great golfer. And then he wanted me to do motocross.
Oh.
And I had these 3 little girls. Heck, no.
Yeah.
But he wanted us to do something together, and he kept getting injured doing motocross. So a neighbor got him into road biking, and so then he wanted me to road bike, which I didn't like it at first.
Yes.
But then I loved it because it was such a push, and it worked my legs in a way that I never had. And then we just had these shared experiences together. So we've been doing that for, maybe 10 years or something.
That is so neat.
So that's like our time to be together. But it's ebbed and flow. You know, I do more of it in the summer and fall, and then some indoor stuff in the winter.
Right. I love it. You're always pushing yourself, always challenging yourself, and that's makes me want to do those things.
Yeah, it helps
Like,
keep
okay.
you engaged.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to pull myself back and go, okay, I have to keep this in balance. And obviously my life is different now that I have a lot more time. Yeah, trying to keep it in balance and not still be there for my son. And yeah, it's a game that you keep playing.
Just always keep playing. So you wear lots of many hats, as we just discovered. You do all these things. What keeps you motivated to do it all? What keeps you going?
I think, like you said, I like challenging myself. I like growing. It's good to have something for yourself. That I think for a lot of years, I wasn't able to do that as much because you are in the weeds of raising your kids, and that's important too. But as I've gotten older, like it's important in different aspects of your life, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, that you keep growing, because I think I want to keep my brain and my body healthy. And Bonnie Pierce was a great example of that. She still is. I think she's 70.
Amazing.
I don't want to say the wrong number, but she's out, backpacking and just in fantastic shape. And I think our bodies are amazing and such a gift, and they can do a lot. And it's exciting. I love people. I love the people that I'm with at the gym. I love making connections. I love the girls that I get to work with. I love being with my family, my husband and my kids. And so just keeps it all interesting.
Yeah. No, that's great. You're just always showing up, which is so amazing. So
well, sometimes, other times I have to say, you know what, I can't. And I'm getting better at that, or just saying, I can only come for a little bit.
Right.
Which is hard to do, but important.
It is very hard. Out of everything you've done, this might be like a loaded question, but what are you most proud of?
Now I'm going to get emotional. I'm most proud of my kids, like the people they've become. So my oldest is 25, 23, 21, and then Davis is 17. And it's been challenging to watch them go through hard things.
Yeah.
But it's also beautiful to see them figure out their own paths and journeys and their talents, and watch them grow up. And now watch my son kind of figure that same thing out. It's hard, but it's awesome. And I'm just proud of the people they are. That's really cool as a mom.
That's really great. I'm just starting that phase of watching my son starting to leave the nest a little bit and start to make those harder life decisions on his own. And I can see a little glimpse of that. Like, I'm proud of you. It may not be what I maybe had in store, but
Yes. Yeah.
I'm so proud of the hard work that he's putting in and making some of those decisions. But I'm still learning.
Yeah. It's really challenging.
So
It is really challenging.
I love your perspective on that.
But I will have to say, the state championships I'm pretty proud of too. But
You should be.
and not just us as coaches, but really the kids, because they take so much ownership of the creation and adding ideas, and the parents, the community.
Mhm.
I'm really proud that we've been able to create a community that's really awesome.
Yeah.
That supports these kids, because they couldn't do it without all that support. And that is exciting.
Yeah, that is actually really fun. It is fun to see to watch the community
Mhm.
come and support and cheer on you as coaches, but then also the girls. It's really neat.
Mhm.
And even the other teams.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
I love that about all the teams. Sportsmanship, I feel like just from, the outside, I know there's the issues. but
Right.
Just watching it, there's a lot of really good sportsmanship, I feel like.
Yeah,
And
there
just
is.
not just the girls cheering for each other, but like the parents and the fans. You know what I mean? The spectators. And it's really fun to watch.
It is really neat
It's
to
really fun
see.
to see.
Yeah. And why shouldn't it be that way?
Right.
All these kids are working so hard.
So hard.
Every team is,
Yep.
honestly. They're all working so hard. And
Yeah,
so there's no need to be negative or mean.
Last thing is, our listeners are dancers, their parents, their coaches, their mentors, their friends, their people who have danced in the past and aren't anymore.
Studio owners.
Yes, all of the things. What advice would you share with them?
Maybe we can just take it one by one. So dancers, I would say focus on what you can control. A lot of times dancers get so wrapped up naturally in why wasn't I put in this routine? Why didn't I move up onto that team in the studio? Why did she get the solo? Why am I in the back? And then they focus on what they don't have and what they didn't get. And it kind of becomes consuming instead of, okay, well, the choreographer somehow pulled to her. She's got the solo, but what can I control? I can control my attitude, control how I apply feedback. I could talk to my instructor. I'm going to work harder, maybe on my technical stuff. And once kids kind of make that shift and think, okay, I'm going to work to really improve, you tend to see a lot of improvement from them. When they focus on the other people, then they get kind of stuck in their progression.
Yeah.
Because that's what their mind is full of, is being frustrated with that. And just always be humble and respectful and keep learning and pushing,
I love that
parents,
so much.
we kind of talked about that.
Yes.
I would also say that with the things we talked about earlier, a lot of times kids just need to come home and vent, and you need to listen and not jump on their bandwagon of like, I can't believe they moved you and they just don't like you, and or like talk about this kid or this kid. Just a lot of times, especially with girls, they just need to vent.
They just need to unload.
And they're tired and they're hungry, and just let them vent. And then maybe there is something you can help them with. Okay, well, maybe you didn't have your aerial solid. I'm just
right.
Or maybe you're not able to hold the energy, and what can we do to improve that? And be their champion instead of just commiserating with them and being negative, because they're learning how are you responding to things that are hard.
And they're going to do the same.
And they're going to do the same when they are injured or when difficult things happen. How are you going to teach them to get through that? Like, I think all three of my girls, I know all three of them have had challenging things that didn't go their way.
Right.
My oldest tore meniscus like 3 months before all like college auditions were happening. Kind of put her on a different path that at the time I was devastated.
Sure.
And she was too, but it actually put her on a different path that she needed to be on.
Mm-hmm.
My second daughter, the week before they went for nationals for Cougarettes, they were early one morning doing their hip hop nationals routine, and they did this back handspring twist, and she landed on her hand and broke her hand. And she was out of nationals.
Out of it. Oh my goodness.
So she went to Florida, was devastating, had to have surgery, went to Florida, just had to be there. But she learned some really great lessons.
Mm-hmm.
And she came in the next year, her senior year, with fire.
Yeah.
Because I think she realized that I can't take this for granted. My third daughter, remember there was a year that she didn't get moved up with a group at the studio because she needed to refine some things technically, but that again lit a fire in her. But we could have, and sometimes even I as a parent, like, why aren't they moving her up? And but I could see that she needed some refinement there, and that helped her become aware and then work on it. And then she just learned how to work for it too.
Right.
And sometimes as parents, we want to just swoop in and save them instead of allowing them to figure it out and work to change. And that's never a bad thing, even though it's really hard for us as a parent to watch or see, So that's what I would say. As far as coaches, I would say have a balance, because you feel like it is your whole life. And
yes.
once you step back, make sure you're putting your family and your husband first. Luckily, we have really incredible husbands that are supportive, but we also know when, like, I probably need to be here, I need to be home, and we're able to help each other step in, which I'm so grateful for. I have these awesome friends, or else it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Because your family and your spouse are most important. So you have to keep that in mind. Because drill team it can just suck you in.
Consume every ounce
of thought and time.
Okay, well, we've taken up way too much of your time. I'm so sorry.
This has been fun.
It has been really fun. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You bet.
You've made such a difference in my life. And I know in our little Davis County community, I mean, hundreds of dancers' lives have been affected because of you. And that's just in one little area. So everywhere that you're spreading your joy, your magic, you've affected so many people's lives, and for the better. And I am forever grateful for that. For everyone listening, just take a moment to think about your coaches, your teachers, your mentors, the people who've helped shape your path. Maybe reach out to them. Think
That's a great idea.
Just, send them a little message or whatever, maybe a card, I don't know, but just let them know that, the good that they've had in your life. And so how they've affected you. So thank you all so much for tuning into this episode, the Keeping You on Stage podcast. If you loved this conversation, make sure to subscribe, share it with your dance friends, share it with your coaches, all of the things. And yeah, we're going to just keep going. This is exciting. A new things, but we're just going to keep going with it. So a new episode drops every Monday. Until next time, remember that we're here to keep you inspired and to keep you motivated and always keep you on stage. Happy dancing. Thanks so much.